You can create calculations inside of an Acrobat form. And so I want to give you an exercise that shows you that. I'm going to open up this calculations exercise here. And I'd like to save it as calculations exercise done. File, save as. Maybe my desktop or just calculations exercise done. And save. So I'm going to click on the tool prepare form. And now I'm able to double click this field 1/3. And in the properties you'll notice there's a calculate option. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to choose the option sum plus, value is sum plus, and I'm going to pick what I want to sum. So I want to sum add 1 and add 2 together. So I choose add 2 and add 1 and OK. And basically from there, if I go close and I preview the form, you'll see whatever I type in add 1, like 100, and then whatever I type in add 2, like 200, automatically gets added together. So you can create a field that automatically calculates results. And I'll go edit. This particular field is just simply a text box. Text field properties. So now let's have a look at how do we do things like minus. I'm going to double click 2-3. I'm going to go for a simplified, under calculation, a simplified field notation. I'm going to click edit and I'm simply going to type. Let me bring this into view. I'm going to type sum 1 because that is the name of this field here, minus sub 2. So sub 1 minus sub 2. And I'll click OK. And that's the formula that's going into this particular field. If I click close and I preview, I can now type, say, 1,000 and say 300. And the difference is 700. So it's calculated a subtraction. But what if I want to do multiplication? I'll go into edit, I'll double click 3-3, and I want to choose values is the, and I want to choose product, which basically means times. I'll pick the two fields that I want to times together, which is times 2 and times 1, and OK, and close. If I preview the form and I enter something in here, and I times it by 2, basically I've got 2,000. Notice the autocomplete is still carrying on from the last video when we set autocomplete. I can go into file and I can go into preferences, and if I wanted to under forms I could tell it not to remember numerical data, and OK. But this next one is divide, so I'm going to go edit, I'm going to double click 4-3 and I'm going to go to the calculation tab, and what I want to do here is another simplified field notation and edit. I want to grab the field div 1 and I want to divide it by div 2. I'll simply go OK and close, and if I preview I can test it. Now what NaN stands for is it means not a number, but this will change when you click preview and you test the division. So let's say we want 100 divided by 2, then that gives us 50. And I'll go back to edit. Now what if I wanted to create a calculation that summed stuff up? I'll double click sum, I'm going to choose value is the and sum plus, and I pick all the fields that I want to sum up. So I need to sum up, for example, 1-3, 2-3, 3-3 and 4-3. So 4-3, 3-3, 2-3 and 1-3, and OK. And close. And I can actually see the answer here, but I could go preview and there is a sum of those 4 fields. If I wanted to perhaps average those fields, I'll go back to edit, I'll double click average, and for here I'll choose value is the, and I'll select average. Then I'll pick the fields that I want to average, and that's the last fields listed here. and OK, and close. And again, I can see it, but I can preview it if I want to see it in this view, and then just edit. So it is possible to create fields that automatically calculate results. All you've got to do is get into the Calculate tab. But it's also possible to format these results. I'm going to double click 1-3, and instead of Calculate at the top, I'm going to choose Format. And I'm going to select the category Number. And then I'm going to choose the decimal places, and I'll set the decimal places, I'll keep it at 2 actually. And then the currency symbol I'm going to choose is $1. And if I go close, I've formatted that to dollars. So it is possible to format the values the way you want them to look. So for example, if I double click, let me just have a look, hang on. Actually, what I might do is not only double click, I might actually make sure that somebody enters valid data. I'm looking at this divide 2 here, that's why I've got this sort of here. If I double click this, I might say, okay, I want to format divide 2 to be a number, so they have to enter a number, 0 decimal places, and no currency symbol. So I'm going to choose none. But then I want to make sure that they enter a valid number, so I'm going to choose validate at the top. And I'm going to say that the value that they enter has to be between 1 and 1,000. And I'll click close. So then if I preview the results and I try to enter 0, it won't let me. It says that the value must be greater than or equal to 1 and less than or equal to 1,000. And that will stop me getting a div error. So I'll leave it as 2. But then if I go edit, I'll edit out of here and I'll save and close the file.